This is a very quick review. Remember, we're doing the Bitmoji World, which is Unit 1 for our class. I have given you all access to the slides. I just want to remind everyone where you can get the access. So this is just for those that are moving on, those that have an understanding of the project, and you would like to continue to work. For those that are having issues, I'm going to sit in the Zoom and answer questions. So let's just do a quick review on the process of getting your Google Slide in your folder. So basically, these are all of your folders that you need to look for. All you really have to do is go to the search bar. For example, if you're in first period, just type in 1-811, and then that will pop that up right there. Okay, if you're in third period, you need to type 3-731. Excuse me, you need to type 3-731, and it's right there. So once you get in there, the way that I do is I use the list view. We've got a lot of students that have put their Google Slides in. I'm going to move on to the next class. If you're in fourth period, you do 4-841. Fifth is 5-651, and sixth is 6-761. So I'm going to put 6-761, and there's that folder. In this class, there's not as many, but what I would like for everyone to do is, if you don't have yours in, you click New, you click Google Slides, you click Create and Share. Once you enter that, you go and delete the slide text boxes, and then before you begin, put your last name, your first name, and label it as Bitmoji World. Okay, so after you do that, go back to the folder, and you should see that there, and there's the one that I just created. There's two ways that you can do this to share. You can double finger tap to see the share right there, or you can click on it and click this icon here. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that I am an editor on yours, but all the other students are viewers. So before you begin, before you add anything, make sure that other students can only view your work. If you do not take care of this security measure, then students will be able to delete your work. Before you finish, click Save after you've hit all of the students in your class as a viewer. And what this allows the students to do is it allows them to see some of your work, which is a great way to kind of promote your creativity, but also they can't delete it. So that is a really good way to secure what you're doing. So let's move on to the next step. So now when we look at the Google Slideshow, we're working on our Bitmojis. Now, we talked about adding your Bitmoji itself by going to the Chrome Web Store and typing Bitmoji and finding your Bitmoji. In this case, I've got to log in, and you log in with Snapchat, put your username and your password for your Snapchat. And what I've done is I use my school email address, and you can make up a password. If this will not let you in, you might have to use your own email. It should pop up even though you're logged in at school, but I know a lot of students have said that this is blocked. If this is the case, I will work on that as well, and we will make sure that you have access to build your own avatar for this project. So let's say you have your avatar, or even if you don't, there's some of the things that I've done on this project. You also can use your cell phone. That's the example on how to do that. And then the other issue is to collect items, which you should be able to do. So let's look at one of these classes. I'm going to go into, we'll just go into first period. and we'll look at the one that I was working on. Okay. So remember, there's a couple things that you need to do while you're working on your Bitmoji. You're going to use the insert tool a lot, insert image and search the web. Remember that I said that you need to use a transparent word. So if you say transparent floor and it says PNG, you can use a picture, you can use water. I just sometimes just type in floor, and in this case, I use the whole background, and then I use a transparent bookshelf, and then I used a whiteboard. Now, one little tidbit for you: if you choose something that does have a background around it, say for example, you want to get really creative and you want to do a specific type of picture. So let's say you're a fan of cartoons. I'm going to type in cartoon floor. Okay. And you like this one, or there's, any of the ones that you like. There's all kinds of things you can do to make your Bitmoji world a success. But I would prefer you to stay within the image, search the web. Now you can also pull some photos in there from things that you have, and this is the way you do that. If you want to go insert image from Drive, it will pull up all the pictures that you've taken in Drive. So if I wanted to use something from the expos, I've also got something here. Like say I want to put the shortcuts that I created on the wall to just show students. Like this is something I want to do. Then you're going to make it a little bit smaller, and that would work really well. But that's like a poster that would be on the wall. Okay, let's say I want to put that in there, or just say I want to put a picture on the wall. So say, for example, if you want to do a picture, I'm going to put a picture on the wall, and I might crop that down to where it looks good. Okay. And there's me laying in front, being all crazy. And then I'm going to make it smaller. And let's say we're going to put that right there. But let's look at the process in which, if you have a picture and you want to use that picture, let me go to my photos here and see if I can find the same one. So let's go down to my Google Photos. And they're really easy to insert. Okay, so in this case, just for the sake of me using this, I'm going to download this photo, and then I'm going to go to another window or a tab, and I'm going to type in remove.bg. Okay, now what this does is, if you notice, it will take out the background of a photo. So if you really wanted to use that photo and make it look transparent, and slap it on the wall, kind of like a fathead, if you will, I'm going to click on upload image. Okay, and this is in my downloads. So let's find the photo, or I could just find, there's Mr. Arnold. There's the picture right there. So I'm going to put that in there, and sometimes it will work pretty well and remove the background. So you can kind of see how that worked. It got all the images, it cut all the background out, and then you can download that. It's a pretty small file. So now that I know what is in my downloads, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert image. And in this case, I'm going to upload from computer. So when you're using your Chromebook, you upload from your computer. That should also be in my downloads as well. Let me check it out and see where it is. It's a PNG file, and let's see where it is here. I got photos everywhere. So what I'm going to do to make it easier for me to find, I'm going to go to Recents and see if it pops up. Hopefully it will pop up somewhere. What I need to do is I need to clean up my backgrounds and clean up my space. So if you can't find, you should be able to find it in Recents. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it right there, And in this case, I could even drop it in there and it'll work, in my case. So just save some time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to crop what's around and say I'm going to put that on the wall. And you can kind of see how it looks a little bit better, or you can even put it on the whiteboard. So I like this one. I like this one as well. They're used for different things. So you continue to collect items for your Bitmoji world. Before you put in your actual Bitmoji, I would recommend doing that. So for example, you might want to put transparent desk, and then it'll give you a transparent desk. So you could throw that in there, and it also has a computer there with it. So you don't really need to crop that down, but if you notice, it's transparent, so there's nothing there that you can't see behind it. So I'm going to make that smaller, and you're going to put it right there. So this is like another option that you can use. One technique that I want to show you, it's from the order function. And the order function is if you have like a desk here, and let's say that you want to put this bookshelf in front of the desk, then what you would do is you would select the item that you want to run in front, and you double finger tap, and you click on order, and you click on bring to front. And what that does is it brings that bookshelf in front of that computer desk. If you want to send it back, you click on order and send it back. And you see how that works, okay? So there's a lot of things you can do with the order function. This is also, you can get to it with arrange. Basically, with this order function, you can send things backwards. You can send things forwards. And that works really well when you have multiple chairs, multiple desks, and things like that. So that's just a really quick review on the process of doing the Bitmoji. Let's go back and look at our slideshow so we can move on. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of a desk being behind another desk. So we just use the order function, and we use the practice with remove BG. This was the order tool that we used. And then we will cover hyperlinks together. This is the hardest part. Really not the hardest part, but it's the part that it seems like some students have difficulty with. But once you learn how to do it once and you do it several times, it seems like it's fairly easy. So that is a quick review, and I hope you're doing well. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Thank you, guys. And this is Mr. McGuire at Crawford Middle.